This might sound a wee bit extreme, but hear me out. I believe we are currently living in a loneliness epidemic. People spend an excessive amount of time on social media, video games, TV, and online dating because, well, it's really easy to flip a screen on and let your device take care of the rest. But what if I were to tell you there's just an easy of a way to find events to go to and meet people in real life? Whoa, I know, right? So we have a solution, but before we get to that, I want to address the 3 leading problems to loneliness. First off, it's hard to make new friends. According to Big Think, 12% of Americans have reported having 0 friends, which is up from under 3% in the 1990s. That's scary. Also, according to USA Today, 43% of young adults reported increases in loneliness since the COVID pandemic. Also scary. So that's the first problem. The second problem is it's really hard to find things to do on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis. After doing a personal survey of 144 random participants of all ages and backgrounds, with no connections to me, so completely unbiased, 71% of the surveyors said that they wish there was an easier way to find events to go to, which that's huge. Thirdly, dating is hard. From another survey, 38% of surveyors met their significant other through friends in common. A total 78% of those surveyed said that they've met their significant other somehow in person. Only about 15% of the relationships were formed online, which that includes online dating and social media platforms. So the big takeaway here is that the most common way to meet your significant other is through a friend of a friend, and a majority of people meet their significant others in person. So people prefer to date in person, and stats show significant relationships happen more frequently in person, but the lack of ease to finding events will lead to the lack of friends, which leads to the lack of mutual friends, which leads to the lack of odds of you finding your significant other person. It just makes everything that much more difficult when you don't have that initial ease of finding things to do. So to recap, the 3 main problems are it's hard to make new friends, it's hard to find things to do, and dating is hard. So what are the 3 things we want to accomplish? Well, the 3 things we want to accomplish, number 1 is we want to cure the loneliness epidemic by making it easier than ever to find things to go to and improve communication within those communities. The second thing is we want to run online dating out of business by providing an in-person alternative that people prefer. And thirdly, we want to recreate the 2016 Pokemon Go experience. And oh boy, we want to do this by giving everyone a reason to be out and about, but instead of having a phone glued to your face catching Pokemon, you're running around finding things to do, meeting people, and enhancing local communities. So we've addressed the problem, we've addressed what we want to accomplish. How are we going to accomplish this? So the solution is an app called HubClub. HubClub is a platform that allows hubs of all kinds to post events. Users can join these events and join group chats for the events. You can also join hub chats to stay connected with the hub as a whole if you are just, a big fan of that establishment that you go to. So lastly, you can also add friends so you can see who within your network is going to what, just in case you don't want to go to an event by yourself. So hubs can really be anything from breweries, gyms, fitness centers, bars, coffee shops, rec centers, activity centers, apartments, churches, work, school, parks, and so much more. Really anything that you can consider to be a place of community that can be a hub. So you're probably wondering what the difference is between this and something like Meetup or Eventbrite. So these other social platforms are similar in concept, but Meetup and Eventbrite allow anyone to create events. This can make things difficult because you might have a lot of Joe Schmoes out there who, well, aren't the best at event coordinating or marketing their events because they don't have really any experience in that. And the problem is just that there are too many events to go to the point where it's so oversaturated that you have all these events where, 2 or 3 people might go to it and then no one ends up showing up because, well, there's only 2 or 3 people going to it. And then, you being that 4th person, you end up going to this run club, and it's at some random McDonald's, and you realize, oh, there's no one here, and I just drove 40 minutes to some run club that nobody's at. This definitely didn't happen to me before. Nope, not me. So the big difference between, that with Meetup and Eventbrite and HubClub is that HubClub is very hub-centered, meaning you must own a physical location in order to create a hub. And this kind of removes that problem of your Joe Schmoes making events that 2 or 3 people to go to. It's going to be hosted by actual establishments where it's their actual job to coordinate the events and to market their events. And instead of trying to create new events, taking it from 1 to 5, we're trying to promote events at places that already exist and are already doing pretty good and take it from a 5 to a 10, where people are already going to it. It's hard for people to find those events that maybe they're new to the area or are unfamiliar with certain establishments hosting certain types of events. Another reason why these events are going to perform better than something on Meetup or Eventbrite, where people don't really have too much of an incentive for people to show up besides the fact of, hey, you came to my event, is with HubClub, because their establishment ran, there's more of an incentive for those hubs to have people go to their events, because more people go to their events, the more foot traffic that they're going to have at their facility, which is going to be their primary goal through holding the events. HubClub also makes it easier to find recurring events to go to, and by that I mean things like your weekly run clubs or trivia or weekly fitness classes and much more. And not only does this make it easy for you to find your hub and chat without having to sign up every other week just to rejoin the events, but it also makes it easier for event scheduling on the hub side, since they only have to create the recurring event once. They can just let it go after that and not have to worry about recreating events for that weekly event every week again and again and again. Just have to do it once, then they're good to go. So how do we know HubClub will work? Well, let's take a look at the good old data that we have collected. Haha. There's almost a direct correlation between people who wish there was an easier way to find things to do and people who would use HubClub to find things to do, which is pretty freaking cool. So that's pretty awesome. We believe that HubClub can be a great solution for enhancing community, making it as easy as possible to find things to go to that people, are already going to, but just making it easier to find those events. But then also on top of that, enhancing those communities through group chats for hubs and the events, and making communication as easy as possible for all of your favorite go-to hubs. So for more information on HubClub, please sign up for our newsletter, which you can find on hubclubapp.com. And we provide monthly updates via email, and we also include a video for more in-depth information on what we've accomplished each month. And it would mean the world to us if you were to sign up for that. You'll be able to stay up to date with what we've been working on, and you'll be the first to know when we release HubClub. And secondly, feel free to subscribe to show your support. It'll be greatly appreciated. But besides that, thank you for watching.